leaves, I can't sleep.
It's time to listen to Courtney at last on the Ramblings of an Insomniac podcast.
Hello, welcome to another episode of the Ramblings of an Insomniac. I'm Courtney. Man, that just sounded like a really depressing, cranky introduction. And I don't want all my podcasts to be like basically my personal journal of airing all of my crap and me bitching and whining and complaining to the world. I really don't want it to be that. But at the same time, I said I would start this podcast to just, talk about politics, talk about family, talk about relationships, and to get the word out about Alzheimer's and dementia and how Kate Brown and liberals really destroyed and killed many people. But one of the things I said I would do would be, to talk about my life and what's going on. And so that's what I'm going to do. And sometimes it's politics, sometimes it's a mixture of all different things. But I have to say, I am going through it. I am genuinely going through it. There's a lot. What has been keeping me up? Relationships and realizing just how messed up and bad and unhealthy a relationship is when you come to the conclusion of how really, really mentally and verbally and physically abusive and controlling a relationship can be, and you decide to get out of that relationship. The person that you leave tends to blame you and say how evil and horrible you are because you left them and that you must not care, and that clearly you don't care. And that's not it. A lot of times when someone chooses to divorce somebody or chooses to end a relationship, a lot of times they don't want to, and it's very hard on them. And they want more than anything to stay with that person. But usually at the point that they finally decide to leave, it's because they've tried and tried and tried, and they've gave that person or the relationship many chances because they care. Because of the fact they care, they give many chances and they put a lot of effort and energy and time into the relationship because they care. And they stay with a person longer than they should because they care and they desperately want it to work. And they are hoping that it'll work. So when that person has finally come to the conclusion that, hey, this isn't going to work, no amount of counseling and it's just not going to work. We're not meant to be together. That doesn't always mean that two people hate each other. Doesn't always mean that two people can't stand each other. Henry, good boy, Henry. Come on, Henry. My dog, my poor little blind dog. Come on, boo-boo. But it doesn't mean that the person that has left is the bad guy who is out to destroy the other person's life. But when you leave a person that's incredibly, incredibly controlling because they are incredibly insecure and an addict, they will say incredibly cruel, terrible, unforgivable things. And that's what I've experienced. I've experienced such massive mental abuse, it's not even funny. And then that person's like, you humiliate me, you disrespect me. And it's like, how? And when you've been cheated on and you've been lied to and people are doing things behind your back and they're gaslighting you, it's all misdirection. The person that's cheating or the person that's lying will always try to put up smoke and mirrors, just like our government, just like our politicians, just like the left. They will put up smoke and mirrors and try to distract you and keep you preoccupied and start attacking you to take the eye off the ball, to take the heat off of them. Misdirection, Our government does it all the time. Our politicians never want us to know what they're actually doing. Republicans aren't any better, really. They're both bad. Democrats and Republicans are both shady. I don't think that Trump is shady. He may, people may not like him. It may not be his cup of, he may not be your cup of tea, because sometimes he says things that are ridiculous, and sometimes he can be arrogant, and sometimes he can brag, and he's not the most eloquent speaker. But I don't think that he's a shady person. My God, he's been completely transparent. He's been so transparent. But I think there are Republican politicians out there, certainly, that are not good people. I think there are people, no matter what race, religion, political preference, sexual orientation you are, there's good and bad. And right now, still, here we are, still, I don't even know what today is. Let's see here. I don't even think my watch is working. I don't know. It's December something. Like the 9th or 10th. Yeah. And 2024. So still in December of 2024, we still have people out there that are inciting riots, that are still trying to use the race card. Black Lives Matter should be in jail. They should be in prison for inciting a riot. They are intentionally wanting people to fight and be divided over this whole Daniel Penny thing. He didn't do anything wrong. We're going to seriously side with the black guy that has a long, lengthy criminal background that went onto a subway to start shit, and this guy was a hero. Thank the Lord. Thank the Lord he was found innocent. Thank the Lord he was found innocent. If this were a black guy that did that to a white guy, people would hope that, he died and that he did. It would be, they'd be rooting for the black guy to kill the white guy. And now here we are, just like the George Floyd thing. Here we are praising a man who has a lengthy criminal record, who got on a subway to do something bad. And we are going to praise that person and stick up for that person. And we are not going to hold him accountable, because apparently accountability nowadays doesn't apply to politicians, and it doesn't apply to spouses, and it doesn't apply to partners. Apparently you can cheat, you can lie, you can kill people, and nobody gets held accountable anymore. Apparently the person that got cheated on is the piece of shit. The person who pays all the taxes, or the person that was trying to defend somebody and protect somebody, is a piece of shit. The world is completely in ridiculous. Mosby! He's pooping. The person that is supposed to be the victim has now somehow become the criminal, and vice versa. When did that happen? Let's see. It happened when the left decided to become bat bananas crazy. And it happened when the whole George Floyd thing happened, because people tend to not gather information. People like to jump to conclusions, listen to one teeny tiny censored side of the story. Again, why the fuck isn't the media in trouble? Why isn't the media in prison for selling us a bunch of lies, for giving us completely fake information? Information that we needed, like we needed actual real facts about COVID. We needed to know the real actual statistics and information about COVID so that we could make our own decisions as grown-ass adults. We are not children. We are not minors. Yet, Mosby, get over here. Come on, Mo. Good boy. Good boy. Yet we think it's okay for our minor children to make decisions like cutting off their penises, cutting off their breasts, mutilating their bodies. But not okay to get a tattoo, not okay to vote, not okay to drink, not okay to drive, but totally okay to manipulate your body. Gwendolyn, get over here. Good girl. But okay to manipulate your body. And this is, again, accountability. So now we're saying that Daniel Penny, thank God he got found innocent. Thank the Lord. But now BLM doing what they do best, being hateful, bitter, angry people, want to tell us that this is racist and and they're trying to incite a riot, which is illegal. It is absolutely illegal. So why is nobody pressing charges? It is illegal to incite a riot. Why is BLM not getting pressed with 1,000,000 charges? Same with every politician like Nancy Pelosi, like Kamala Harris, that have gone out of their way to incite riots, like everybody on The View when they call Donald Trump a Nazi all the time and say that he is a threat. He's a threat. He's a threat. He's a Nazi. He's a threat. He's a Nazi. He's a threat. They should all be in prison. People need to be held accountable. I am tired of being held accountable for other people's behavior. I have gone so many years now being held accountable for other people's bad choices, other people's bad decisions. Now we have all of these immigrants coming in that are killing people, that are terrorists, that are sex traffickers, that are the cartel. And somehow when citizens stand up and go, hey, wait a second, I would like to be safe. I don't want to pay taxes so that somebody else can have a cell phone or a house or food or health care or vote. So when we stand up and we say, fuck no, we're not doing it, and then the majority of the people voted for Trump, we're still to this day, we are still getting people calling us racist, bigot, terrible Nazis because we don't want illegal immigrants coming over and raping and murdering us. We don't want the cartel. We don't want children, innocent children, to be sex trafficked. We don't want our tax money that we have to get up whether we're tired, whether we've had a bad day, whether we have lost a family member or divorced. We have to still get up whether we have kids and we are exhausted. We have to get up every day and go to work, no matter what, just to be able to not even be able to pay our bills. Half the people that are working still can't pay their bills. They still don't have health care and they aren't getting free cell phones. So because we don't want somebody else to take our money, and then they're like, oh, tax the rich. The rich are the ones that get taxed the most, you fucking idiots. How many people out there are that stupid? I'm getting tired of stupid. I really am. I'm getting tired of ignorance. Do your homework. Really. Do your goddamn homework. Open a book. Get on the internet. Today's day and age, it's very, very, very easy to get actual facts, and yet people refuse to do it because they don't want to admit they're wrong. The rich get taxed out the yin-yang. Not to mention the fact they're the ones and the middle class that are paying for everybody else that has just decided they don't have to work because they're entitled, lazy pieces of garbage that mooch, and they're perfectly content being lazy pieces of garbage. And then they sit around and whine. What do you have to whine about if you're not working? Shut the fuck up. Unless you're retired, unless you're genuinely disabled, shut up. No one wants to hear you, and that is why Trump has won. Trump won because no one wants to listen to your whiny baby bullshit anymore. America and the world has had it. And I find it funny that Biden and Harris like to go around saying to countries like Iran and Russia, don't. That didn't scare anybody. That didn't scare a single person. Meanwhile, Trump isn't even president yet. He's president-elect. So not for, until January is he our actual president. And you know what's funny? All of these world leaders are like, oh shit. Okay. We'll stop sending migrants over the border. Okay. We'll shape up. Kind of funny that Canada and Mexico are getting their shit together. Kind of funny that Trump went and met with Ukraine. Kind of funny that Trump went and met with France. And all of them are cowtailing, ducking their tails between their legs. You want to know why? Because with one single handshake, have you watched the way that Trump shakes hands with people? He brings them in, he grabs them and pulls them in, and then has his hand on top of their hand. That is there's a reason he does that. He does it to show dominance, to show power, to show he's not going to back down, to say, don't fuck with us or else. Bonnie, come on, Bun Bun. He's saying, do not fuck with America. Don't fuck with me, because there will be accountability. There will be consequences. And that is what kids need right now. That is what everybody needs. If we didn't have any type of rules, then this happens. Anarchy happens. Chaos happens. When people are just left to do whatever the fuck they want, whenever they fuck they want to, shit's going to go down. There has to be some type of parameters. There have to be some type of borders. There has to be some type of guidelines. But we also don't need the government to be telling us what to do all the time either. There is a gray area. There is a compromise. I don't know why. Again, I've done a podcast on this before. Everything doesn't have to be either or, either this way or that way. No, things can be both. I don't have to like cats or dogs. I hate when people say that. Are you a dog person or a cat person? Well, I like both. Can't I like both? It's very simple. People need to, when you say my body, my choice, you don't get to say my body, my choice while also saying that everybody has to get vaccinations, because you're talking out your ass and you're being a hypocrite. And I'm getting tired of the hypocrisy as well. You're telling everybody that Trump is so violent and Hitler, and meanwhile, the left is blowing up everything, burning down everything, stealing everything, fighting everything, killing, want everything dead. They want babies dead. They want elderly people dead. They want Trump dead. They want Trump supporters dead. Bonnie, get over here. They want Trump supporters dead. They really like babies dead, though. That's like their biggest thing, is for babies to die. And yet, and then they want to shove vaccinations down your body, and they want to call you a Nazi, and they want to call you a bigot and a racist, and then they want to steal from you and burn the flag and throw rocks and bricks through your glass building and then burn down your business and steal things from your business. But yet somehow that makes the right, that makes the Republicans bad. They're the ones that are destroying this country. Again, America has spoken. America has spoken. The liberals need to sit down, take a seat, and slow their goddamn roll, because no one's talking to you anymore. You can sit down and shut up, because for 8 years now, 8 years, you have been running your mouths incessantly, and no one wants to hear you anymore. It is time for you to shut up, close your mouth, open your ears, and actually learn how to listen. You're even against education. You don't even want people to be educated, because here in Oregon, you don't have to read or write or speak English or know math to graduate. So for 8 years now, all the left has been doing is going around destroying everything and saying how much they hate America and how they want and they condone violence. For 8 years, you have destroyed our country. We now have other countries that have been honing in on us and wanting to start a war with us. We didn't have that when Trump was in office, and that is a fact. That's an actual fact. That is not my opinion. You don't get to argue with a fact. That's the other thing, libs. You don't get to argue fact. You can argue it all you want, but it doesn't change the fact that it's a fact. So you can throw a temper tantrum. You can go outside and do your screaming thing. You can shave your hair. By the way, what does shaving your head have to do with men? So you already don't have a man. You already aren't with somebody, and then you're going to make a video of yourself being an idiot and shaving your head, and that somehow proves a point to men. How again? How have you stuck it to the man? All you did is made yourself bald. You did a Britney Spears. You pulled a Britney Spears is what you did. And you think that's going to summon the men? You've already repelled the men. And I know your point is to repel men more, but you already did that when you started talking shit about men and pulling all of your crazy, crazy left bullshit. You've already scared men away. You didn't need to shave your head. You were already single for a reason. I'm not saying people out there that are single are bad people. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying if you're single, you're bad. I'm saying if you're a crazy leftist and you're already a massive, massive feminist that hates men, you didn't need to go a next step and shave your hair. I'm saying there was no need to take it that step further and do the Britney thing because men are already repelled by the massive feminists. So what was your end game there? To look ridiculous and then videotape yourself? Again, internet's forever. Do people forget this? The internet is forever. So when you look like an idiot and you're out screaming like a banshee, when you're out going, all because Trump won, what does that prove exactly? What did that change? How did that change the fact that Trump is president? Did that suddenly make him not president? No, it didn't. It did nothing. So instead of sitting around crying and throwing a temper tantrum and shaving your head, and still to this day in December, right before Trump's going to be president again, everyone's going to lose their mind again. Do you think people are going to stand for another 4 years of this? We've done it for 8. America has stood up and said, it's time for you to sit down. We're standing up for the Pledge of Allegiance. We're standing up for the flag salute. We're standing up for America. We love America. So you sit the fuck down. Sit down, shut up, and hold tight because your little temper tantrums aren't going to sit well with people anymore. Your little trying to incite a riot isn't going to fucking sit well anymore. No one's taking it anymore. Get a new gig. Try something different. How about try being, nice like you say you are? How about actually following what you say you are? You say you're accepting. You say you're non-judgmental. You say that you love everybody. How about you actually follow through with that? How about your actions speak louder than your loud mouth? Because frankly, I've had it. I've had it with controlling relationships. I've had it with cheaters. I've had it with liars. I've had it with people that are abusive. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm letting you know if you come at me, I'm not going to hurt you. But no, I'm not going to apologize for something that I'm not sorry for. And I'm not going to kowtow. I'm not going to stop wearing my MAGA shirt. I'm not going to stop wearing my America shirts. I'm not going to stop being a patriot. I'm not going to stop my beliefs because you screamed at me and called me a bigot and a racist. Do you really think, how many times has that actually worked? How many times has that actually worked out? It's a new dawn. It's a new day. And in January, all of the world leaders out there, they know it. They're puckering their assholes right now, and they've now become a diamond mine. They've now become a country that is full of diamonds because they are all shitting themselves, shitting coal. They're shitting out diamonds because their ass is so puckered right now that it could turn coal into a diamond. They know that Trump means what he says. He's not just going to go, don't, while giving them a ton of money. That's not Trump's way. Thank God. That's a good thing. I don't know why people are acting like that's a bad thing. Again, no one's acting like it's a bad thing except for the crazy, crazy, crazies, the crazy lefties. They're the only ones still whining. Shut up. Shut up. Seriously, shut the fuck up. No one gives a rat's ass anymore. You may be a good person, but your actions are ridiculous and no one cares. I'm not wishing harm upon you. I'm saying shut the fuck up. Open a book. Educate. I'm not wishing harm upon you. I'm not wishing you bad. I'm saying shut the fuck up. I've had it. Open a book. Go to a library. Get on the internet and actually educate yourself. Try that. It's amazing what education will do for you. It's amazing what reading facts will actually do for your brain. It's crazy how information, actual facts, are fantastic to learn about. It's good when you're armed with facts. It's good when you're armed with knowledge. When you're armed with bitterness, when you're armed with 10,000 cats and bitterness, it doesn't do anything for you. It makes you look ridiculous, and then you document it for all the world to see. Your grandkids and your great-grandkids and your great-great-grandkids are all going to see that. Come on. It's amazing what knowledge does versus throwing temper tantrums and not having a solution. Crazy. You should try it. But again, the extreme left is not into education. Most of them don't know how to read. I mean, the good news is there's a lot of children's books out there that have pictures, so you could go by the pictures. What we don't need is a bunch of children's porn books in our elementary schools. And somehow that also makes us bigot, racist, horrible people because we don't want porn in our classrooms. And now the left likes to twist that around. The Republicans like to ban books. They talk about censorship, but they like to ban books. No, they like to take porn because porn, you're supposed to be 18. Remember how there are laws? You guys don't remember laws because you don't follow the law. You want everybody else to follow the law while you are breaking it blatantly. You are literally stealing cell phones out of people's businesses, stealing clothing, stealing food, but you don't want the law to apply to you. So, of course, you don't know the law. And the law is you have to be 18, at least in America. In America, you have to be 18 to go to a rated R movie and to be able to watch porn. So, and if you want to be in porn. So it's called against the law, and Republicans are about following the law. Unlike Biden, who swore up and down he would not pardon his son, and then he pardoned his son. Now, again, I get it. It's your son. You don't want your son to go to jail. I get it. But it's the point that he went on, and all the libs went on and on every single station you could possibly find, every media outlet you could possibly find, every liberal and Democrat out there that had a mouth was going on and flapping their gums. That's what they sound like. Hey, liberals, this is what you sound like to all of us right now. Or there's Kamala, who just sounds like a Xanax-ridden drunken sailor. So there you go. You have uneducated people that are against education, pro-killing babies, pro-mutilating kids, pro-sex trafficking, pro-cartel, pro-murder and allowing rapists and murderers in, not for education at all, for all of our taxes going toward illegal immigrants and criminals, and then they're for BLM rioting and wanting to riot because a good Samaritan tried to apprehend someone that has a lengthy criminal record and put them in a chokehold so that they would no longer commit a crime. And now he's the bad guy? Shut up. Again, this is my message for this podcast. If you are a liberal, you need to sit down, open up some books, and read. If you don't know how to read, get some pop-up books. Get some coloring books that also, that tell a tale. I'm sure there are plenty of illustrated books that you can get that are educational. Get someone to do an interpretive dance for you. But before you open your mouth and start talking about how everybody is a horrible racist and inciting violence, instead of doing that, close your mouth. Close it, because you've had it flapping for 8 years and no one wants to hear it anymore. America has spoken. We won. The majority won. By we, I mean most of America. The majority of America disagrees with your and doesn't want you to talk anymore. It's time for you to listen. We have had to listen to you literally screaming, quite literally screaming at the top of your lungs. We've had to listen to it for 8 years, and we have been censored. No one has allowed us to talk. We have been censored, and that's been proven. That's a fact. Again, you don't get to argue a fact. You can argue a fact all you want, but it doesn't change the fact. You can throw a temper tantrum and break stuff, but it doesn't change a fact. And the fact is we got censored. So we have been censored. We have been told, we have been beat up on. People have been killed because they were Republican. Donald Trump had assassination attempts on his life because of it. So it is time for you to stop killing and stop talking and start listening, because no one gives a crap what you have to say anymore, because what you say is uneducated, violent garbage. And this person in particular is quite tired of spouses and boyfriends that are violent and controlling. I've had enough of control, and so has the rest of America. So if you're a liberal and you're listening, I doubt you are. I doubt very seriously any liberals are listening. But if you are, learn the art of listening, of actually hearing. Let it soak into any brain cells that you might possibly have. I know I'm being rude. I know I am being very rude. And I know that I'm freaking out right now. But I've just every single moment of every single second for 8 years, every moment. It's like a dog. No, it's like someone that just gets poked and poked and poked and poked and poked and poke. And then someone's like, stop. Please stop. Please don't do that. Please don't do it. Please stop. I'm warning you. I want you to stop. Can you please stop? I'm begging you to stop. And after you've told someone to stop politely and kindly, and after you have ignored someone, and they still just keep going and going and going, like that young sibling or like that little dog to the big dog. It's always the big dog that gets in trouble when the little dog usually starts shit. It's always the older sibling that gets in trouble when it's usually the younger sibling that starts shit. It's like the Eddie Haskell thing. So when you're sitting there for 8 years, constantly calling someone garbage and terrible and horrible, and you want to beat up on them, and they're constantly being backed in a corner and backed in a corner and backed in a corner, well, guess what? There's only so many times you can do that to a person before they say, fuck you. So I'm sorry, but here's what I have to say to all you crazy lefts. Fuck you. No one's listening to you anymore. Your time has ran out. The microphone is no longer yours. The spotlight is no longer on you. Your star has dimmed. It has burnt out. Get used to it. Find another job. Find a job. Please find a job. Pay taxes. It's time for you to get up, brush off those. If you're a boy, you're probably wearing a dress. So, brush off that dress of yours, put on your prettiest skirt, and get the fuck out to the workplace. Shut up and be grateful that you have a job, that anybody will hire your piece of crap ass. Get a job, pay taxes. Get up when you don't feel good. You don't get to take days off every time. You don't need a personal day. I need a personal day. I need a fucking personal year. Okay? You don't need anything. So grow up, put on your big girl, your big boy pants, or whatever you identify with, whatever pants or clothing you identify with. Put those on. Blot your little tears. Put your tears in a cup. Save them for later. Look yourself in the mirror and go, I'm a grown ass adult. I am a grown-ass fucking adult. And what I do with my life is my choice. I make choices. I make decisions. And if I make bad decisions and I make illegal decisions, I am held accountable. Nobody else. I am not a victim. I am held accountable for my good or bad choices. And then you go and you get a job and you start contributing to life. Because sitting around crying and whining, did you help save a whale? No, you did not. Did you help save a koala bear? No. Did you help save the environment? No. Did you throwing a fit and stealing stuff and calling people a bigot, did that save anybody or do any good for society? No. Are you doing anything worthwhile? No. So put up or shut the fuck up. How about all of you whiners stay in California and split from our country? God knows Mother Nature has been trying to take California out forever. Even Mother Nature is like, fuck California. So honest to God, if you don't like the country, get the fuck out of the country. If you are all about the climate, then how about you actually contribute to society and do something for the climate? Don't drive around in your 700 cars and in your battery operated car that is actually worse for the environment than gas. Educate yourself, learn things before you talk. So the takeaway from this is, I personally, I'm not going to speak for everybody else, but it pretty much seems like all of America, considering Trump won by a good majority, America has spoken. And we say, leftists, it's time for you now to shut up, sit down, educate yourselves, open up a book, take accountability, take responsibility, and grow up. Because no one's listening to you anymore. It's so 2023 to call someone a bigot. No one cares anymore. Anyway, I know, and I understand that I just went off. I understand I've been negative Nancy lately. All my podcasts have been me whining and crying. But Lord, have mercy. I've just had it. I am absolutely over it. So if anybody else out there is in a bad relationship and it's not safe, get out of it. You are worth it. You are worth it. And it's not safe. So get out. And if you are someone who has put up with someone's crap for too long, don't. You don't have to. You can walk away. If you're in a terrible situation that's hard to get out, try to find resources. Call a friend. It's okay to ask for help. If you need help, it's okay to ask for help. You have to take care of you and you have to be safe. And us, those that are not crazy lefts, I don't care if you're a Democrat. I don't care if you're a liberal. I'm talking about the crazy. I'm talking about the crazy Democrats. I'm even talking about crazy Republicans. I don't want crazy people. This has actually nothing to do with Republican or Democrat. It's just crazy people. I have had it with crazy people. Republican, Democrat, Black, white, Indian, Native American, gay, straight, transgender, Catholic, Mormon. I don't give a shit. I've had it with crappy people. And we don't have to tolerate it. We can take our power back. And we started with taking Trump back. Thank the Lord. Hallelujah. That's a good step forward. Okay, I'm off my soapbox. Thank you so much for listening. I know you're probably, I don't know how many listeners I'm going to continue to get, but thank you. If you're tuning in, I appreciate it so much. Thank you so much for listening. I genuinely appreciate each and every one of you. And I hope that you continue to listen. It's not always going to be negative. I have a lot of positive podcasts out there too. I really do. But again, I vowed that I would it's kind of like a journal talking about everything on my mind. And right now, this is what's on my mind. So take your power back. Thank you again. Until next time.